VCR Redux will begin in T-minus 5 minutes.
What the fart is VCR Redux?
It's the show where we take movies from the VCR era and bring them back to today.
Well, how do we do that?
Well, we start by talking about a VHS classic, and usually you'll say something like,
I haven't been this uncomfortable since I watched Meatballs 4, Meatballs to the Rescue with my parents. Oh yeah, or you'll say something stupid like,
I wish we lived in a world where the Garbage Pail Kids made as many movies as the Muppets.
but I know you'll always see it through with a positive attitude.
I hate this movie, I hate being here, I hate all of this. Oh, Jamie Kennedy. Oh, well, shit. Well, let's go for this.
He was in Son of Mask. This is genius.
I am not a gamer. I'd rather read books. I'm just
He's like the old lady that's like, I got video game monsters, I got toy monsters in here.
As long as we respect the passion and the artistry that went into these films.
You know, obviously they took this movie, it's 93, right? And you're like, what do you want to see in your Mario movie? And they're like, oh, we want it to be grim, we want a lot of death, we want tits and ass.
Oh, and then we start the pitch ideas with modern day sequels like
Weekend at Bernie's 3, Cocaine Mountain.
Sometimes we take it kind of seriously.
I'll watch a Paul Verhoeven alien movie.
oh my gosh, that alien will have more vaginas than anything you've ever seen in your life. Sometimes this Hawaiian shirted fool will pitch something stupid like,
I would take out the virtual reality stuff and just have it be about Jeff Fahey mowing the lawn.
Sometimes the best pitches come from the live chat.
Alex Bonafonte also pitches Grand Theft Starfighter Vice Galaxy.
wait, I thought I had the best pitches.
And what happens at the end of the movie? The ultimate fart. The fart that the warmth goes like all the way down to your socks.
The only rules are, there are no rules. Sometimes we cross over franchises.
Only the truck from Tango and Cash can kill Christine.
And sometimes we travel back in time.
Like 1995 is missing a good Universal Soldier sequel.
But you never know what we're gonna pitch next.
What do you want? Do you want Daniel Stern behind like a muzzled mask? Like,
We all know it should be Pesci behind the mask, and like underneath the mask, you should hear him going like fritter, 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 fritter.
you are so proud of yourself for that one. I can't stand you.
I would also love to see a Charles Bronson version of It's a Wonderful Life.
What?
Direct to DVD.
If you made a shot-for-shot remake of Scarface with Goofy as Al Pacino, it would be amazing. Gosh, you need me to be the bad guy.
It's like the worst 1987 Disney movie Disney ever made. Schlongo, directed by Jim Wynorski.
Like, I would watch a whole bowl of that.
Do the John Holmes story. Add a comedy spin to it.
Wow, the Wonderland murders are so funny.
I'd watch it on my mobile.
Something happens and he goes into a coma. He gets like, hit by a car or something. I know this is dark, but like, bear with me. He's got to go on.
Did you just go like Hard to Kill with Ferris Bueller?
I'd watch it on my iPad.
If you want to just like throw in the kitchen sink, I mean, it all works. Like Alien versus Predator versus RoboCop, like that works. Alien versus Predator versus Terminator, that works.
Alien versus Predator versus Ernest, that works.
That works.
I respect everything you just said. I need David Silver and Terry Silver and the Sloan family all learning the Quicksilver, but they're doing it in Breakin' 3 Hydraulic Boogaloo. And it's underwater. It's gonna be incredible. Eat your fucking shit out, James Cameron. I got the underwater movie you can't touch.
That was the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mr. Toxie Goes to Washington.
My ass would be in the theater tomorrow.
If Harley Quinn gets 7 movies, then Tank Girl should get at least 70.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
I mean, why should we even bother with Look Who's Talking when Air Bud is soaring to new highs?
All I know is I want Danny McBride.
I'd want him doing anything other than writing Halloween movies, honestly. Anything that keeps him away from that fucking job, I'm for it.
Just let him talk out of his butt. I don't care how he does it.
I'd rather not.
Austin Powers doing the Macarena.
That would be the opening credits. Come on.
But we have not yet had Die Hard on a half pipe. What if John McClane Jr. was a pro skateboarder and also an avid machine gun enthusiast? Skater Die Hard.
What up, virtual people? Welcome to the 200th episode of VCR Redux. We take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2025. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most complaints, film professor Ian Klink.
You know, I'm a voter. Aren't you supposed to lie to me and kiss my butt?
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, the third leg of our VCR tripod himself, Mac Daddy Mickey Torres is back on the show.
What's up, everyone?
And rounding out this righteous crew, the musical maestro, the prince of puns, and the master of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, Tony June is back on the show.
Guys, it's great to be back, and a lot of people thought I'd be nervous, but hey, I ain't afraid of no host.
Oh, I love it. Coming in, quoting on fire. Well, folks, if you couldn't tell, we are here today.
Hey, Robbie.
We are here today to turn Rick Moranis into a dog so Bill Murray can make his prestige AC/DC biopic, thus turning Sigourney Weaver into the horniest gatekeeper the world's ever known. That's right, folks. This world needs Ghostbusters 3, and we're here to give it to you. But before Ian says bustin' makes me feel good, we got a dish on how Ghostbusters came into our lives and what we love about it. And of course, that goes double for you at home and everyone watching the live chat. Was it Love at First Laserdisc? Vital VHS? Hit us up in the chat and let us know how Ghostbusters came into your lives. But Tony, when did you first get Ghostbusted?
That was you mentioned it, the VHS. It was one of the earliest VHSs that I can recall like owning at my that my parents I think bought. And yeah, absolutely, just got hooked from the very first viewing. It's still one of my we always talk about those catch it on cable or
the little red border on the black cover. Those
Columbia,
little Columbia
baby.
I get so
Columbia
nostalgic
VHS
for that. Yeah.
with the title, like the actual movie poster title on one side, but that beautiful just red and black and white, side on the other. So you could pick if you have the library or if you know.
And there was something back in the day, there was something that like it was sort of cheap and cheesy, but also I kind of loved it when companies like Columbia or CBS Fox, the spine of the tape would never have the movie's font. It would just have like Helvetica Italic or like whatever it was. And like every CBS Fox had the same font on the spine, and every Columbia had the same font on the spine. So if you were like a fucking VHS collector, your shit looked baller on a shelf, dude. Like, oh man, like, yeah, dude. If you had like the fucking. And Columbia was cranking them out in the 80s too. Like there were plenty to be had,
For sure.
Not to say that Universal tapes weren't classy. I like that little MCA badge. That was
see when I collected VHSs, it was mostly at Goodwill. And like for instance, I got all the James Bond movies, but it's like half of them are CBS Fox, half of them are MGM UA. Some of them are the Reeboxes where it's just like a flat head on the cover.
Oh, fucking anarchy.
It's chaos. Yeah, I don't like
no
it.
way to reward a collector, That's not how it's done.
Like the second one I did see in the theaters. The second one I saw in the theaters because I was like at that time, like obviously like I saw the first one and loved it, and then again you watch it every time it's on cable, whatever case may be, and then when I heard that the second one was coming out, like I definitely had to go, and then also like like the Bobby Brown song too. So I was like,
oh man, yeah,
just right down my alley. I'm like,
yo, Ghostbusters, can I get a proton pack for my little brother?
Proton pack is not a toy.
I guess this time is true. We're in control.
Na, 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 na.
That's awesome. I mean, and that's like height Bobby Brown too, because
dude, that was he was at the top of There's actually Harold Ramis's daughter wrote a great book, Ghostbusters' Daughter, and in it she talks about meeting Bobby Brown, and like that was like the one time her dad introduced her to someone that she was just like I couldn't even speak. Like I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
And it wasn't until years later, it's actually not just recent that I realized, and I didn't realize this at the time or later on, that the Ghostbusters theme song, Ray Parker Jr. It's literally a rip of like "I Got a New Drug" from Huey.
Oh,
Lewis
yeah,
and the
Oh,
hard.
Huey
And
Lewis was supposed
they
to do
sued
it,
him,
and they backed out.
and they sued him.
No, he didn't back out.
I thought he backed out.
He was never in. They just kept begging him and offering more money.
And they
Huey was
literally-
like,
They did. The story goes as they were doing a scene or whatever like that, or whatever the case may be, and they were doing it to that song, and they basically, confronted them or like it went up to them and said like, "Yo, we really want this song for the movie, whatever the case may be," and they were like, "No," and so they just decided
No.
they gave that song
Yeah,
to Ray
I
Parker
Want a New
Jr.
Drug.
and said like, "We want something that sounds just like this." And then like they ended
There
up,
you go.
I think they sued, and then I mean, there was some settlement.
So
Somehow,
the
some-
story,
they
yeah.
settled- they settled out of court. I remember I did so I do a whole unit in one of my music classes on like copyright infringement and all that, and they literally
Yeah.
gave, they literally gave Parker like a weekend to write it, and
Mhm.
like Huey Lewis immediately picked up on it, was like, hey, yeah, and they did the whole settlement out of court. But yeah, so yeah,
So
little-
interesting.
little bit of a
I'll add
cheat
one little
there.
wrinkle
Yeah,
there.
still
So
iconic.
they did settle out of court, but Ray Parker still made a boatload of money off the song, as did Huey Lewis, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
However, part of the terms of the settlement was Huey was not supposed to talk about it, and he talked about it in his
can't.
Behind the Music episode.
Yeah.
And then he got countersued by Ray Parker. So I don't know what the terms were with the countersuit and all that, but
Well, the last I heard, because I did just see like a recent like interview that the guitar player, Chris, I think his name was, he did, and he discussed it like briefly, and he said like I really can't talk about it. He's like, but if you
okay.
know, you know, whatever case may be.
Yeah.
So he didn't really say anything. But to me, I think like if there was any backlash or anything that happened to Huey based on talking about it in Behind the Music or whatever case may be, I kind of believe he probably would have alluded to that in the interview, but he just
The first rule of out of court settlements is you do not talk about out of court settlements.
there you go. Yeah, I
especially
think
when you're
that's-
getting those
that
fat
sounds
checks.
about right to me. Yeah. That in Fight Club. What about young Iowa Ian? What cornfield did you first get Ghostbusters?
Oh my
in?
gosh, you all! Ghostbusters
The gas
is
station.
it's the mecca. It's the film. It's the thing that got me into movie making. It's everything.
Wow.
All right,
Yeah.
so in little small Sumner, Iowa, at the public library, they had an RCA Select Division. All right,
wow.
that you could rent.
Format of choice.
Oh yeah, you could rent this. You could rent the machine, and you could rent some of the movies. So my parents did that, and they rented Ghostbusters. The record size disc, the selected disc. And as the legend goes, I had to have them rent that thing pretty much every other day because I demanded to see Ghostbusters. I'm a little 2-year-old kid, 3-year-old kid, and I have to watch Ghostbusters, and I won't let them not do so. It got to the point, the legend is that my family rented it so much that the library actually told my parents, we can't rent this to you anymore because other people need to see it. So my parents went to like some back antique store or something like that. I can't remember. My mom will probably yell in the chat, but they found a used VCR player, and they actually had to go get the movie. They had to actually buy the movie, and so I watched that probably 5 times a day. To the point,
so the tape was all warped. Then
it
right?
broke several times. To the point, my parents to this day have said they cannot watch this movie ever again. They are tired and sick of watching this movie. And in fact, I have a guest, ladies and gentlemen, the original Marshmelly. All right.
Oh wow.
This is my Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Real Ghostbusters that I would watch while watching the movie. So homeboy and we've seen a lot of this movie. All right.
That warms the heart.
So, oh yeah.
And he probably was there for Porky's as well.
Hey, you know what?
I'm sure this is like
to the point. I remember when the sequel came out. In fact, and Tony knows this, I have this poster in my room, and the reason I have this poster, number 2, is because I remember my dad driving me down the street, and we had a one movie theater in Humboldt, Iowa, It was. I've talked about it on the show before. It was like half a video store and half a movie theater.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, it was the best.
Oh,
It was the
yeah,
best.
yeah.
But Dad drove me past the movie theater, and he said, "Hey, bud, look," and he pointed, and they had this poster for Ghostbusters 2, and apparently I just lost my mind. Like I
Wow.
lost my ever living mind.
So your entire Ghostbusters story, down to like seeing the poster and losing your mind, is like my exact story with Back to the Future. Not to downplay
Mhm.
my love of Ghostbusters, because like that was another one that was like heavily in the rotation, and my Columbia tapes, like Karate Kid and Ghostbusters, also got played till the wheels fell off. But I will get to that in just a moment. I do want to check in with the live chat though, and let's see who's tuned in on our 200th episode. We've got Andrew Saunders, the mashup genius, Michael Ricci, our favorite
Yeah.
location scout. Whiskey 41, the great Alex Bonafonte, Carol Clancy, new tune in. Thank you for watching. Gabe Symbolista. Gabe, thank you so much for watching, buddy. We gotta get you on the
Nice.
show. Mikey Riffraff, the other mashup genius. Caitlin Altman, America's Next Top Model. Kareen Polanco, another new name. Rand, thank you for tuning back in. Gold's Code, the great Sean Gold, and Sean Ellis, the special edition. We have a loaded live chat. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.
Can we just acknowledge this though? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and I'm not gonna try to get sentimental here, but guys, we've been doing this for 200 weeks, episodes. Like,
yes, that's a lot.
like,
that's
a
so-
lot, you guys. And honestly, God bless our fans. God bless you guys. Like, this is a journey. Like, we seriously, we've done everything from Captain Power, Captain and the Soldiers of the Future, to freaking Roadhouse, to the early days we did Superman and Brett. I mean, like, we've done a lot of stuff, and
Problem
you guys
Child,
and you
Roger Rabbit. We've done a lot of shit.
You guys, and I want to thank our audience, because look, we're not doing this for the money. Like, we're not.
No,
Trust me.
definitely not.
We're like we're getting pennies, if that. You know, like, but we don't do it for that. We honestly, we do it for the love of this, and the fact that you guys have kept us going. Like, that means a lot. I want our audience to know that. It means a lot. And it means a lot from you guys. Like, I love you guys. So I appreciate it.
Double down on that, because we would definitely have been canceled like 150 episodes ago if it weren't for you guys. Like, we've been on the verge many times. We will probably be on the verge many times again if we keep going. But you know, as long as you guys keep tuning in, keep showing up, that is the best way to keep us alive and to keep us doing this. Because what else would we be doing on Wednesdays but talking about these old classics?
Watching
and
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, right? I mean, come on. So I do want to acknowledge also at the top of my chat, what I see is less than the full chat, for those that don't know, a little behind the scenes of VCR. But the first thing I see in the live chat is that there's lots of love and RIPs for Ozzy in the chat, so may as well have a moment of silence for the Prince of Darkness. But also one for Malcolm Jamal Warner, because that one, I think we were a lot more blindsided by Malcolm Jamal Warner, and like, god damn, like, that man did so much, especially like even beyond the Cosby Show, that he absolutely needs to be celebrated. So I don't do these a lot on the show, but damn, like, those two both run really deep, and those two cut deep. So in lighter news, I also seen in the live chat Angie Saunders kicking things off, saying Ernie Hudson got the role after Eddie Murphy turned down the role for Beverly Hills Cop, I heard. So I have heard
Smart
similar
move.
things to that. Smart move for sure on Eddie Murphy's part, because Beverly Hills Cop was, I think, the second or third highest grossing movie of the year, maybe the first. It was like that and Ghost, but those were definitely the top two of the year, I think.
One could be, I mean, like,
84 was a stacked
imagine,
year.
Could you have imagined Eddie Murphy and Bill Murray together?
It's so crazy. I can't. I really can't. Like, I know they did
that would have been
skits on Saturday Night
insane.
Live.
The ad libs would have been insane. And like, so one can argue that while he turned it down, and yeah, Beverly Hills Cop ended up being a massive success and everything else like that, one can argue that he would have had just as much success with Ghostbusters.
However, I counter this with the idea that we all know that John Candy was supposed to be in the role of Rick Moranis. I'm sorry. No.
That wouldn't have worked.
And we all know I love me a John Candy. You give me
Same
Armed
here.
and Dangerous today. Like I don't. You give me Wagons East today, and forget you all for if you dare go against Wagons East. But he's not Louis Tully, and I would hate it. I
So
love me a Rick
apparently they
Moranis.
shot with Candy, and apparently he was so not Louis Tully that they agreed to just like part ways.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And
Wow.
I remember, and we were talking. You guys were just talking about, how insane it would have been with just Bill Murray and Eddie Murphy together. Then you hear about like John Candy wanted his Lewis to have a German accent or something.
Yeah, like a really thick
Two
German
giant,
accent.
like schnauzers with him. Like it just, to me, one of the great things about Ghostbusters is that like, even though it is a complete fantasy and everything, there is that element of realism to it a
Yeah.
little bit. Like it just would have become the Saturday Night Live SCTV hybrid that
True.
maybe fans always wanted. And like, I don't think the movie would have hit the same if you had John Candy doing this ridiculous character and then Bill
agreed.
Murray and Eddie Murphy trying to one up each other. I don't like it. Just taken so much of the charm out of the movie.
Respect to him
Probably
for like
so, yeah.
having a take and trying to go for it, because I think to do great things you have to risk failure like that. But I mean, that's all risk and no reward. I think Rick Moranis takes plenty of risks, and the character of Louis Tully, like alone, the way it's written or the way it's performed, or however the way we know it, is classic and there's plenty of risks taken with that. It's really weird to set up this character the way he is, and then the Keymaster and the Gatekeeper consummate Gozer at the like that's a fucking ridiculous way to play it. And the fact that I've always loved the way that like she dips him. I think that like Ian and I wrote something, and I think I rewatching this, I think I realized I stole something from Ghostbusters. I want this one character to get dipped by a girl for a kiss, and I'm like, oh, I must have just stolen that right out of fucking Ghostbusters. Because
You did. I didn't say anything at the time.
yeah,
but-
well, now I'm aware of it, but even still, it's it's if you're successful, it's an homage and it's not theft. So
Right.
we'll have to see if that ever gets made. But getting back to live chat, Gold's Code says I saw Ghostbusters 2 in the movies. First one was always on TV. Definitely the same for both. Says I'm going to use the rest of the petty cash to get Ian an Airborne DVD. I just have to say, there's something about the coolness of cigarette smoking in the first Ghostbusters. I know it's very controversial, but like it does take you back to
No,
1984.
it wasn't. I am sick of this woke.
I never heard that. I never heard that it was controversial.
That's why they don't smoke in the second one.
That's New York.
Everybody
That's New
who's
York.
upset with smoking in movies are the same people who like Superman 2025. Whatever. Like, forget you.
Superman
people.
2025 is awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was
Awesome
really good.
if awesome is a euphemism for stupid, but I digress.
You're gonna get roasted. You're gonna
I don't care. I don't care. I like
You're in a minority, man.
First off, I like men. I like a man in my Superman movie, not Superboy, which is really what the movie should be called. So, secondly, that movie sucks. And thirdly, James Gunn does not know what he's doing. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Big and I are gonna fight afterwards.
Go back
I'm
to the,
I'm
back
sure
to the live
James Gunn
chat.
is sitting there counting his money, going like, "Oh, really?"
James
I don't
Gunn's
know
like,
what
"You
I'm doing."
motherfucker!"
And you know what?
Keep that
Judas,
mouth while I buy
Judas
another
counted
yacht.
his
Yeah.
silver pieces too. The point is that
There's no point. You just wanted everyone to know you hate Superman in
really
America.
did.
Yeah.
I
You really did,
That
you
movie is so
bastard.
That was
stupid.
200
You
episodes.
just want
and
to
I'm
throw out
starting
a
to figure
hot
it out.
take.
I really
you know?
did.
Don't
Yeah.
change
How dare
the
you bring
subject.
But no, the
kryptonite
reason-
to
no,
Photon
Save
Pack.
that shit for your fucking country club, HOA,
Simmer
homeowner
down, you
association.
Hawaiian shirted freak. The point I'm trying to make about all of this is that it's
There's a
funny
point.
Can I get there? Can I speak? Is this? I'm sorry. Is this Antarctica where a dog apparently can survive? But everything about Ghostbusters. This is a movie. I have to admit, I thought about this years ago. It's a movie that shouldn't have worked. All right. It's a movie that shouldn't have worked. One, it was supposed to be Belushi and Aykroyd, right? We knew, we know those guys can work in movies and it works, but we also know they can work in movies that don't work, a la Neighbors, right? So I think that if Ghostbusters was with those two, it would have been out of hand. I mean, I don't think. The other thing is, if you know the history, there is a Ghostbusters from way back when. Filmation
Cartoon.
did a live action TV show called The Ghostbusters that had Larry Storch and Forrest Tucker in it, and a gorilla. Okay. Now, if you've ever seen any of those episodes, oh, okay, like
Going bananas?
Go to YouTube now and see it. But it literally is these guys traveling through interdimensional space and busting ghosts, which clearly Dan Aykroyd ripped off. Like and there's a reason for the famous lawsuit. If you don't know about that lawsuit,
why the cartoon is called like the real Ghostbusters, or the extreme Ghostbusters.
So basically, long story short, Filmation sued Columbia and said you can't use Ghostbusters, which is why throughout the movie, when they say Ghostbusters, they'll do another take that says Ghost Catchers or Ghost Breakers, or we're ready to believe you. Call Ghost Breakers, because they didn't know if they could use Ghostbusters. But Dan Aykroyd really wanted it called Ghostbusters, so
it's way better than Ghost Breakers.
They chose the right title. But you could have had the movie
Hunters.
but you could have had a movie called Ghost Breakers. You could have had it with Eddie Murphy without Ernie Hudson, the great, amazing Ernie Hudson.
The only way I would have accepted a movie called Ghost Breakers is if it starred Lucinda Dickey and my man Turbo and Ozone, and if it was directed by Sam Furstenberg and Ghost Breakers, Electric Boogaloo, or something like that's what like Van Damme is the renegade Ghostbuster dancing in spandex.
But because of that, they got
Vigo could be busting moves.
They gave them the rights to the movie, but the cartoon, they couldn't call the cartoon just Ghostbusters. So when the real Ghostbusters came out, it's because Filmation made their own cartoon called Filmation's Ghostbusters. So a lot of kids my age were confused when we saw these toys in the toy section that there was Ghostbusters, but then there was this other Ghostbusters toys. And that was from the two cartoon shows. So
no, I never really you guys can tell me we still got to get to Chris's first time, so I'll let Chris.
And there's a lot in the chat still too.
Yeah,
so.
I have a question after we're done here, but go ahead, Chris.
So just, I want anyone to feel left out in the chat. I believe I was leaving off. Rand was up. So Ghostbusters on VHS in the summer of '85 at my grandparents' cottage. That sounds like that's so heartwarming. Michael Ricci's VHS all day, wore that tape out. Mikey Riffraff saw this in the theater. I'm so jealous. Ghostbusters 1 is one of those ones I would love to have seen in theater. Angie Saunders' VHS. Gold Scout says, let's run some red lights. Meg Klink in the chat. His first word was, this chick is toast. That's so cute. Mama Klink, thank you so much for watching.
That's true. I would go up to church ladies, apparently, and I would say, this chick is toast. I'd tug at their... I tug on their skirts, and I would say that to church ladies.
I wonder what awful quotes I was bugging people, hounding people with as a kid. I'm sure there was plenty.
21 gigawatts. Chris is just going around.
I got my 4-year-old cousin in trouble once for running through my grandmother's house shouting "Yippee ki mother effer."
I definitely got my neighbor Luke Sloan in trouble for whatever the quotes in Predator that he repeated at home, but I can imagine what they might have been. Strap this on your sore ass or something. His family was super religious too, so that would probably landed like a fucking fart in church. Anyway,
Literally.
Also in the chat, Rand says that Tom Hanks was looked at for Peter Venkman if Bill said no, and if Bill took the Batman movie, there would be no Ghostbusters 2. Wow, that is a fucking weird film universe right there. I know Ivan Reitman was considered for a Batman movie with Bill Murray at one point, presumably right after Ghostbusters, of course.
Bill Murray would have played who?
Bill Murray would have played Batman? Bruce Wayne.
Bill Murray would have played Batman?
I didn't say it was a good idea. I just said it almost happened.
How far off is it that Mr. Mom played Batman?
I'll tell you what, Mr. Mom fucking crushed it, and he's still the best.
Exactly, but you don't see
Amen.
you don't see Michael Keaton in the same light as Bill Murray. Bill Murray is like,
Yeah,
No,
well,
but at
see,
the-
yeah, if you want to know the
at
As a
difference,
comedian.
I mean, but at the time, it's gung ho. It's
no,
Mr.
no,
Mom,
fuck
it's-
that. If you want to know the difference between Michael Keaton as Batman and Bill Murray as Batman, just look at the difference between Clean and Sober and fucking Razor's Edge. That's the difference. Nobody fucking showed up to see Razor's
That's
Edge.
it.
They
I'm
wouldn't
sorry.
wipe their ass with a copy of Razor's fucking Edge.
Good
But they all saw Clean and Sober because that movie kicks ass.
Razor's Edge is a good movie. You just
Oh, it's a piece of fucking
no, it's
shit.
not.
It's
and
a
I'm
self-indulgent
tired of you people
turd.
bashing this movie.
You're supposed to like the book
So-
more anyways. You're
so
snobby
far-
and the
So
So far,
professor.
Razor's Edge is a
That's a
good
book I
movie,
haven't
and
read,
Superman
but the movie-
2025 sucks. According to the
Yeah, if Razor's Edge, there was no AC/DC in the whole movie. Bullshit, bad movie.
yeah, I
Two
was the
thumbs
sec-
down.
I hate you.
I thought it was going to be a documentary on AC/DC, and I rolled into that. I was like, oh, get the fuck out of here.
Look
I thought Bill Murray was
going
gonna play Angus Young.
I've always said, and I don't mean to bring a batarang to a proton pack fight, but I always said that Michael Keaton was one of the few actors that I ever believed could pull off Batman, and if he was cast as Joker, would have been an equally awesome movie.
Ooh,
I like that.
True.
I always wanted to see Eric Stoltz as Joker. I know it's weird and it's out there,
What is
but
wrong
I
with
thought
you?
Yeah, I could have believed Bill Murray as Penguin or Joker or something like that, or even Riddler, but I couldn't see can't see him as Batman.
Nicky Cott also could have been a great Joker. R.I.P. as well. We just lost a great one in Nicky Cott. So the pitches are coming in. Before we get to them, though, I do want to say something controversial. Well, I also have to talk about my first time. Like I kind of alluded to already, I literally can't even remember watching Ghostbusters 1 for the first time. It was one of those tapes that was just in the house and played until the fucking wheels fell off. Now here comes the controversial part. I know it's just like it's cool to like Halloween 3. It's cool to kind of shit on Ghostbusters 2 for the last couple of years. And I just want to say, stop it. Everyone, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, however you are involved in these movies or this franchise, whatever they personally mean to you, just stop it, all right? Ghostbusters 2 is a fantastic film. It is a wonderful sequel. It goes
Damn it, I
back
like
to the
this
time.
man.
It goes
Yes,
back to the time
preach.
when the way they did these, and you know something? I'm gonna get real fucking controversial and say that for me,
Reach.
Ghostbusters 2 is more than Ghostbusters 1. I know that's crazy. I know that's fucking nuts.
Wow.
But it's like the
Wow,
Godfather
now
2
you're
for me. It's the
controversial.
one, it's more fun. You don't have to set up anything.
Yeah.
There's not a wasted millisecond in Ghostbusters 2. I love Janine and Lewis getting together. I love Peter McNichol's character, Janosch. I think Viggo
Oh,
the
but they
Carpathian
would.
is a
Oh,
way
but they
better
would.
villain. There's a part where he's in the thing.
I like the
He's in the
ooze.
museum. He goes to
Wait, wait.
someone. He just says, "Everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know this."
both.
It's so good.
It's
That man
Vigo.
is
It's
brilliant.
Vigo.
Absolute brilliance through and through. The Bobby Brown cameo, the soundtrack. I mean, this is how you do a
Sigourney
sequel. The
Weaver
He-Man reference.
Everything's
Yeah,
good.
everything is great. The slime, you've got, it's just bigger and better, and it just moves faster and more fun. To me, like those little bits, like who told you to stop cutting? You tell him to stop cutting. Like that stuff's gold, man. Like no strikes against the first film. The first
Where
film
do
was
you think this coming
excellent.
from? The sky?
Yeah, I got a
I
major gas leak over here. Just changing
I think the first
excuses,
one,
so good.
the first one was was done, and it was geared toward maybe adults, whatever the case may be, not
Right.
realizing that kids would get into this movie. So I think the second one was more kiddie friendly or more family friendly.
Oh,
or
the
whatever.
first one was definitely made for the SNL, our parent, the baby boomers. Like that was for them. The second one is we all watched the real Ghostbusters cartoon, and the studio was like, you have, and clear as day, the biggest thing is Janine.
Yeah,
She 100% is Janine from the cartoon.
yeah.
Yeah, Annie Potts looks exactly.
Ghostbusters 2 is what Warner Brothers wanted Batman Returns to be, and Tim Burton.
Oh wow, yes.
Yes,
True.
Tony.
Like that's why essentially Burton got dismissed or wound up leaving after Returns, because they were like, oh, we want something that's gonna remember like the whole thing with the who was it, McDonald's or Burger King kids meal. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're gonna promote the hell out of Batman Returns," and then he goes and makes this dark, sinister movie, and they were like, whoa, okay, we're promoting this for kids.
So then what they wound up with for Batman 3 was essentially like Gremlins 2, the new batch, but without being self-aware. without without the like smartness of it and the corporate commentary. It was just like that's Batman in a bright, colorful mall. You know?
But it gave me Val Kilmer as Batman, and I love it.
Another R.I.P. But man, that ain't the Doors. That's for sure.
Well,
it's more like the
I will
island.
say this, I do remember I had from Hardee's. Hardee's promoted Ghostbusters 2. And I remember I had a
you Iowa son of a bitch.
How dare you? But there was a Ghostbusters sound effect toy that I had gotten in a Happy Meal. I remember that. So it had like the Ghostbuster beam.
All right, lifetime subscription to this channel, and for whoever knows what the Arby's or Hardee's Happy Meals were called, because they couldn't have been called Happy Meals. They had to have some other name.
I don't know what they were, but I know they were kids' toys. But yeah, you could get the Ghostbusters 2. You got the sound effect, and I remember Dairy Queen had a Ghostbusters 2 thing. Like
there was no Hardee's in Jersey at that time.
I don't know. I was growing up in the Midwest. I wasn't above running into a Hardee's or two in my day, but it was never by choice. That being said, there are some choice pitches in the live chat, so it is past the half hour quite a bit. Time to be pitching our Ghostbusters sequels or threequels or however you want to do it.
Okay, can I ask you this? Why are we not acknowledging Afterlife
so here's where this is okay.
This is not an agreement upon as a group. This is purely a Chris Stiles.
Well, someone's shit happens, and who you gonna call? So there's a reason for this, right? Bill Murray of all people bashing Ghostbusters 2 rubs me a lot like Steven Spielberg bashing Temple of Doom. Like, what the fuck, man? Let us have that one. Are you pissed that it's the best one? Because Bill Murray says this all the time. He'll go on late night talk shows, and these forced like interview questions from like Letterman are like, "Now you did a Ghostbusters 2, is that right? Yes, correct." Like, fuck you, Letterman. You know there's a fucking Ghostbusters 2. You fucking jerk off. Like, yes, he did Ghostbusters 2. And thank you for setting it up so he can be like, well, technically. Oh, okay, great. Okay, you've made it known you don't like Ghostbusters 2. That's fine. Now, since then, you've made 1, 2, 3 more Ghostbusters movies, Bill. And every one of them sucked ass compared to Ghostbusters 2. So let's be real. None of these movies are a pimple on the ass of Ghostbusters 2. I don't care what you think about Frozen Empire. It's member berries and nostalgia porn.
I don't like Afterlife. However, those 10 minutes were 10 minutes of the most beautiful thing that I had in a long... And you know my stance on nostalgia thirst. I hate nostalgia thirst. But man, I was crying in the theater when I watched that.
Yeah, but that I feel like
I'm sorry, I was.
I feel like that's you told this story about the original Ghostbusters. So to me, it's almost as if this will be controversial. Like, I still haven't seen Karate Kid Legends, and I'm one of the hugest Karate Kid fans. I mean, like the first one, second, third, they live with me forever. Cobra Kai, all that stuff. Like, I cherish those movies. So, you as well, coming from that love of that first one, if they gave you a little bit of the nostalgia feeling of that first one, you're gonna automatically.
I was. I wrote an article about it for Fandom Spotlite, and I said it was like I had a hidden Beatles song that had not been heard before, and they just released it.
Oh, sorry for that. So sorry.
No, well, but that's how it felt. It was like I got
which
this.
They have on multiple occasions, by the way.
Yeah,
I know, but like it was this great moment.
Completed by AI.
I was so frustrated. Tony and I actually saw Frozen Empire together. Like, we went to the theater to see it, and I was like, "What?"
I am drinking from the cup from the theater. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember us talking afterwards. We were like, "What did we just see? What?" It was like an episode of Real Ghostbusters come to life. Like, they just filmed it finally of like one of the cartoon shows. And it was weird. Like, it was.
I don't know. I still haven't seen the other ones as well, because I just for me, after 2 was like that was it, and then I didn't like and this is like, think what you will, whatever. I just didn't like the all-girl cast Ghostbusters movie.
I didn't like it when it first came out, but I've grown to like it. If you,
And it's not because it was all girls cast.
if you look
Yeah,
at
it,
it, yeah, if you look at it as its own movie, when you finally get past the, I'm watching a ghost, like them rip off Ghostbusters. If you just solely look at it as its own movie, like I was able to do a few years ago, it's good. I mean, it really, like they really do try.
I thought that they could have
thrown
gone.
in the cameos. That's what kind of ticks you off because
The
you're
cameos were awful. Those were the worst cameos I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Yeah.
I just have to say, those cameos are abysmal. They're just dreck, just terrible. They just absolutely stop the movie every time. Add nothing. They're
Except
not
for Ernie
funny.
Hudson.
They're I don't know. That's just it's such a non-event at that
Just
point.
give that man the respect he deserves.
I love Ernie
I
Hudson.
love
Let's
Ernie
do a no
Hudson.
escape
don't like-
episode. Let's do an Ernie Hudson tribute episode or something. You know.
What I didn't like about the all-female version was exactly what I was talking about earlier with the fear of Bill Murray and Eddie Murphy and John Candy being in the same movie. To me, it felt like, and I've given it repeat views. I've tried. It feels like that Pitfall SNL type skit with Leslie Jones, just Leslie Jonesing all over the screen. Like Kate McKinnon is a caricature. I saw less animation in the real Ghostbusters than I did in her character, you know, and it's like
I thought she was actually kind of my favorite part. Like that El DeBarge joke was
And then you got Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy trying to bridemaids all over my Ghostbusters movie. No, I don't need that.
It was. Well, and it was.
It was a clash of egos. Maybe a clash of egos. Maybe a clash. Like, I get it. I maybe that you hit it on the nail on the head.
Well,
maybe that's exactly why I didn't like it. I am not a huge SNL fan. I hate SNL.
That's why the first one works. Honestly, why I always tell people why Ghostbusters work is the only one who's being funny comedian is Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Harold Ramis
Dan
is not.
Aykroyd's like a straight guy in there.
Yeah, Harold Ramis is not trying to crack jokes.
Well, you know, credit to him for rewriting the script to 1 and 2 and making them kind of like the feature-ready films that they are. Dan Aykroyd's movie would have cost like $300 million in 80s money. So that wasn't happening. But there are pitches in the chat, and it is way past pitch time now. So let's kick it off with Mikey Riffraff's pitch. His pitch: the Ghostbusters have all passed away and must save the world from a ghostly invasion, but this time as ghosts themselves. Ghostbusters 3, Behind Enemy Lines. So I love that. It's a very good pitch. Like, I would totally watch that movie. I think you will have people come into your house with pitchforks, though. If you're like, they're all fucking dead. Fuck them. You know?
However,
I love the balls of that. So
but have you seen, when you say that, all I thought, what immediately came to my mind is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that animated kind of funky style.
Yeah.
I could see that as a really cool animated, kind of kids movie.
Maybe like, if you did that with the cartoon as a movie, like Transformers the movie '87 style,
I'd be all for it.
Yeah, that would.
But
be...
I like the concept.
We did
like,
get a real Ghostbusters the movie. We never got that in like 1988. We should have. That
totally,
theaters. I don't know why.
Before we even got Ghostbusters 2, right?
There's still time, and of course, Chris Pratt will voice Peter Venkman because he does the animated movie now.
No, it's the Garfield guy. You got to do the Garfield guy, Dave Coulier.
Dave Coulier.
Wow, was that really?
But I honestly,
Dave Coulier did Peter Venkman after the
Lorenzo music. Yeah.
Holy shit!
I don't mind like that kind of like, they're all dead, whatever case may be, but I think about it more along the lines of, if we had gotten a third one during that time period, would have been really cool if one of them would have died, like not in real life, but in the movie, one would have died or something, but they found a way to get him back. So they now their whole thing was to try to
do the Frighteners thing. Have someone get cryogenically frozen so that they can have a ghost thing.
Weren't there like 20 years worth of treatments that Aykroyd and Ramis tried to write where they were going to kill off Bill Murray in like the first?
Because he kept saying he only do it if he was a ghost.
Yeah.
So
and basically the video game that came out in like I can't remember what, but essentially that video game, that had like they all came back and did all the voices. Essentially, that was the third script. Like there was and they basically turned that into a video game.
And that's cool,
Yeah.
And that's
we kind of got a third one, but you got to play the video game, and it's like
that's the down part of it is like you get to a certain point in life, you just don't have fucking time for video games. It's sad to say. I bought like a RoboCop game a couple weeks ago and haven't even been able to fucking put it in and play it yet. Like I don't, I hope I do get to because RoboCop kicks ass. But
you bought Nukem?
Yeah, right. No, Pakistan is threatening my border. All right, Butterster, no more military aid. God, I love that game. So Whiskey Forward with the pitch. His pitch: the Busters are back, and this time Vegas needs help as the porn awards are haunted by fallen stars past.
Good lords.
Hey, he's free to pitch what he wants to pitch.
Ron Jeremy.
I would be down with this. I would be down.
So the porn awards are haunted by fallen stars past and the demon that exploited them the most, Steven Seagal in Ghostbusters 3, Slimier. Oh, I love that. He is like the
Perfect chance
slimiest.
to bring Ron Jeremy back into the franchise as well.
Ron Jeremy's the hero in this story. Exactly, I know it's fucked up.
They go to jail to get some wise advice.
The Gold's Code with a pitch, the great Sean Gold. And Ian, you might want to cover your ears. His pitch: Devil's Backbone is really Devil's Backbone. The Ghostbusters must team up with Mitchell and crew to save Ohio and the world in Air Bustas with Busta Rhymes cameo. Trick or treat, brah.
Oh my god,
man, I love that,
dude! But you have to have also Vin Diesel as a cameo too, just so you can say, "The Buster came back for me."
You don't notice it, but there is a tear slowly down Marshmelly's.
I remember Dan Aykroyd saying he wanted to write one where they were in hell or something. So, it makes sense that the ultimate fight in hell is on Devil's Backbone,
It also makes sense that Airborne is hell. So
can you imagine if they did something like a Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey where they ended up in hell? Like, can you imagine like Ghostbusters in hell?
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna lie to you. I
great.
kind of want Seth Green and Jack Black somehow in a Ghostbusters movie. I'd be okay with that.
Oh, I would be so down for that. Like, there would be like, I mean, like that to me. If you're gonna recast now, like, to be honest, it's like those my Ghostbusters.
Well, the only pitch I ever had for years is I just wanted Jason Sudeikis. For some odd reason, I just wanted a Ghostbusters movie with him. I don't know who else was in it. I don't know who would have starred with him. I just want Jason Sudeikis. Now, however, I kind of want Bill Hader.
Yeah, you've been switching from constant Sudeikis to constant Hader.
I love it, Hader and Sudeikis. Just put them both in the movie. That's all.
So
I got the perfect role for
it's better that he's off of it. He's not on Robert Downey Jr. anymore.
I have the perfect role for Jack Black in the Ghostbusters franchise, though, and it's a little bit of retconning and it's a little sacrilegious because we all know that Slimer is based on the ghost of John Belushi, but Jack Black would be perfect as Slimer alive in the Slimer prequel movie.
Oh my gosh!
Human form Slimer, that would be great.
Oh my gosh! Or somehow
really
or another, they have like a Casper formula where it turns Slimer into a real person.
He's Jack Black,
and it's Jack Black. That's beautiful.
Oh man!
I would love him animated. I would love him animated.
I'm into that. I dig that. I love Slimer. That's obviously so many people's favorite character. And ironically, the name Slimer comes from the cartoon show. I think this is one of those things that technically in the movie they never call him Slimer.
No, they don't.
Not
the first,
until
at least not in the first movie.
Until part 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was originally his
toy.
name was going to be Onion Head or something at one point.
They called it Onion Head. Yeah.
Onion Head. Yeah. So, but there's another pitch in the live chat. Michael Ricci with the pitch. His pitch: when an ancient spirit tied to the origins of ghost busting threatens to unravel the boundary between the living and the dead, the original Ghostbusters must reunite reluctantly and go back to the past to save the future. Ghostbusters Origins. Oof, I love that.
Yeah,
Time
that's
traveling.
cool.
Now
That's
you
cool.
risk a little dial of destiny there. You mix in your your Continental with your breakfast syrup or whatever. But I do love that. I think that's really, really good. Now I will say I have a pitch. It's a time travel pitch, but in the sense that like we always do that I'm saying the universe went severely off course, I believe, in the year 1992. because we did not get the Ghostbusters 3 we were supposed to get then.
Mhm.
And I've thought about it for a long time. In fact, I kind of riffed on this once with a friend, and I probably won't recapture that original magic of when we just kind of pulled this out of our asses one night, but I'll try and go for it because it's the way I see it. In 1992, we were supposed to get a Ghostbusters movie that was very much following in like 1, 2, 3. You know, you give the studio that movie where you get the same movie again, where you have to get the band together one more time, and the band is like apart, you know, just like at the beginning of Ghostbusters 2. And like that's the fun. Like to me, that's one of the funnest parts of Ghostbusters 2. Is like Bill Murray's got a fucking TV show, and like Egon's just torturing like kids and parents,
Hairless
and like
pets.
this this
Weird.
therapy room or whatever. Ray's got the occult bookstore. It's like, okay, I believe all this. This all tracks. Yeah, they're doing birthday parties, and you know, He-Man's more popular. You know,
Valentine's Day.
yeah, this is all great, right? So I thought, like, okay, so you start Ghostbusters 3, and you do like a news story where they're like, oh, and the flagship like Ghostbusters team in New York, and it goes to New York, and it's not Venkman, it's not Spangler, it's not Stantz, it's Louis Tully, it's Janine Melnitz, and it's like Janosch, and like they're the main unit now, and like our original Ghostbusters are off doing different shit, and like the most fun part of all of what they would be doing, I thought, was you kind of base it a little bit on real life, that like Dan Aykroyd became such like a business guy with this like Crystal Skull vodka and all this shit. So I think that like he just became like a millionaire franchising out Ghostbusters all over the fucking globe. Bill Murray,
Like a franchise, yeah.
yeah, franchise. So like Egon now just has a limitless budget to create tech stuff, and he's creating like all kinds of new like ghost traps and ghost guns and, you know, proton packs and, you know, blah blah blah. We did get some of that in the female one.
I was gonna
Answer
say
the
you
Call.
kind of want him to basically be Kate McMinnon from her.
Well, you know, you just again, there's a big part of what made this fun as a kid was like the toys. You wanted a proton pack, you wanted a trap, like
Oh, I
you had
had
the
one.
Marshmallow Man toy. We all had that shit. Like it was awesome. Like it was fun. So like get the kids their gear, their fun, their toys. Like that's part of what this franchise is. Now the
Yeah,
fun
like I
one
said,
for me
it's,
though.
it you know, after the first one, it just got geared towards kids.
You know
Right.
what? Can I pause for 1 second to get a little bit sentimental just once more?
Okay.
Like, I know my parents didn't have a lot when we were growing up, but you know what? Almost every Christmas, I got a Ghostbusters toy. God bless you, mom and dad. I love you guys. Mwah. You're the
Aw,
best.
There
that
you
was
go.
sweet. So let me just, you know, rounding out this pitch, catching up with everyone. Now, the original Ernie Hudson Winston role was supposed to be like he was from the Air Force, and he was like kind of this like macho military badass type, and
Yeah.
that all got kind
He
of
was
cut out
chappy.
and downplayed. You know, yeah, a little bit. So
He was oh my god.
you play that
Now we're
up. That
done
like
with Iron Eagle. Good lord.
he's the big gun. When any city needs to like call in like a big fucking thing, like that big action, like there comes fucking Winston. So now what's Bill Murray doing? Bill Murray like fell out with the guys, lost all his money, and he's working as like a scam artist medium in New York City, like Whoopi Goldberg at
You
the
don't
beginning
think
of
he's
Ghost.
with Sigourney Weaver? You don't think he's?
No, he fucks it up again. They got to get back
He
together.
always broke up with him.
So he's one of the people he would be interviewing on World of the Psychic.
Basically, yeah. Like
No. He's slinging hamburgers at a local restaurant.
Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger. He literally is the epitome of what he was on SNL.
But you get everyone together, and to me, there was like a promise that was made in Ghostbusters 2, and that is that like Louis Tully is a Ghostbuster now, and by extension, like Janine is basically a Ghostbuster now. She's not just like answering phones anymore. She's like into the fray. You know, she's part of this now. Sigourney, you know, she's not a Ghostbuster. She's gonna go back to the orchestra, and like that's cool. But like
Oscar
you know,
signs up.
but like, yeah, they're still around. They're still like close. They're still like family, you know. The Oscars got a little like, you know, daycare center or whatever at you know, Hook and Ladder 49, and you get, I don't know what the you know, the ghost story of it would be. That's always like the hard part to figure out. But I think if you put those ingredients together, you have a Ghostbusters 3 that feels like it's in spirit with 1 and 2. That like,
Well, you
all
still
right,
got the kid too. It's Sigourney Weaver's kid.
Right,
Oscar.
yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Oscar. I think Oscar should join as a Ghostbuster. And
Well,
that's
he's
the
only going to be 3 years old at this point, you know.
Probably like a
4 years
junior
old.
Ghostbuster. Like,
Yeah, I would.
And here's the problem: is like you made the Ghostbusters women, and people fucking complain because people complain, and then you made them little kids, and people complain because people complain. So it's like whatever you do, people are gonna fucking complain. Like, but I don't think we need a 4-year-old.
Because they're not the original.
Ghostbuster.
Yeah,
No.
like if you make a stupid, whiny Superman movie, people are gonna complain.
Well, Ian is really.
You got that with
Nobody
Superman
else.
Returns, buddy.
This-
you
yeah.
got that with Superman Returns.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, really
This-
quick, can I ask you guys a question? Because I've actually asked people about this for years, and the minute Ian invited me onto the Ghostbusters show, I have to ask you guys. So it's a game I like to play called Lenny or Larry. Ghostbusters versus Jaws mayors. Who's worse and why? Who's more egregiously still in office in the sequel?
Oh, definitely the mayor of Amity is way worse. Way worse. The mayor of New York in the Ghostbusters movies, he has the most incompetent staff, but he's not that bad of a guy. But man, does he suck at hiring people. I love Kurt Fuller.
I always
but
talk
Kurt-
about because it's funny because I agree. I think it's worse than Amity that he is still mayor after what happened. But I'm like both of these guys. It happened once before in 84. They let the Ghostbusters go out of business, and then it happens again in 89, and somehow 5 years have passed. So this guy had another election and won. At least in Jaws, you could say it might be the same term for the mayor.
fair,
It's
yeah.
only like a year or two later, but
That's true.
Lenny got reelected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he did save New York. He did eventually let the Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
do
he
their thing.
definitely campaigned hard on that shit.
Yeah, the
in,
mayor
like,
in Jaws
86
let the
or whatever.
Kinter boy die. That's-
Kittner boy, yeah.
Alex Kintner died because of that mayor. Forget that.
No humans were killed in Ghostbusters.
So there are some more in
You
the
don't know
chat.
who was in that church. There could have been some deaths.
There could have been some deaths. Who knows? So there are some more in the chat. Michael Ricci says mashup gangs of New York. Ghostbusters versus Hellraiser also feels appropriate. Would have to be hard R.
Oh,
I
God.
like the idea of that, of a Hellraiser type of guy is like your villain. You put that
More
in and you get a
serious,
big
more
third act
serious.
set piece. That's the thing, because you got the giant Marshmallow Man, then you have the giant Statue of Liberty. I don't know what the giant third act set piece would be, but that's a very important ingredient in the Ghostbusters.
Giant Slimer.
Oh, that's interesting. A giant Slimer.
I don't know how.
I don't hate it. That's for sure. I love Slimer.
Right? Can you
give
imagine
him-
that giant slob going through New York City? It'd be amazing.
Maybe there's like another I don't know. You could have somebody have almost like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of like a
Zap Ray thing.
Zap Ray or whatever the case may be.
Which one?
and,
One of the
you know,
Egon's little new toys. He invents
Yeah. And maybe
'cause
they
he- 'cause
accidentally
he's got to make the containment field smaller.
maybe
So if you
Slimer
reduce it with the
you know,
machine
gets
or
out of
something.
maybe Oscar. Maybe Oscar's fucking around in the Ghostbuster headquarters. He hits a button, it releases Slimer, but also at the same time, he was messing with Egon's new toy that increases the size of things or whatever the case may be, and it
Okay.
zaps Slimer and makes him a big Slimer.
I could be into that. That's definitely got potential. I like that.
Dana likes boring guys. In Ghostbusters 3, could Egon and Dana be together, which makes Bill furious?
Maybe maybe Dana's the daughter's real mother from Afterlife.
Oh wow, there's a twist.
Yeah.
I always thought they should have just
Holy
you know, like,
Snyderverse.
I always felt like, because they brought Annie Potts back for Afterlife anyway. I always felt like she should have been the mother. It could have been a thing where Egon and her had the fling at the end of the original Ghostbusters. It didn't work out. She's single again 5 years later, hooks up with Lewis, and the timeline still fits. But then in Afterlife, you find out that after the Spook Central finale, when she runs into his arms at the end of the movie and they go off, that they have a kid. It just seemed like it would have made a lot more sense. You're like,
There's definitely
he's been
subtext
doing
of that. There's a lot of subtext of that in the first movie. Him coming out from under the desk and stuff like that. Yeah, like it's very nice of you to help this man, like things like that. The way they have a certain vibe.
Print is dead. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I don't
And
know
by the
if
way, have
we.
any of you been to the Hook and Ladder #8? Has anybody been there?
No.
Oh, by the way, did
I
you
have.
guys?
It's pretty. I've been to that, and I've been to the library with the lion's head.
Oh,
Like I
yeah,
did
yeah.
like a
I've been there,
Ghostbusters
yeah.
tour. It was great.
Did you guys know this? I just found this out recently too. The interior of the firehouse is also it's also Egg Shen's hideout in Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like if you check out the scene, like right before they go infiltrate Lopan's Lopan's fortress, and they go like to drink the the magic potion or whatever, they're walking through, you can see it's the interior of the firehouse. You see the pole,
Holy
and like
shit.
they actually go down the fireman's pole in a scene there.
Oh wow. I don't think I
I
would
don't
have
know
ever
why,
fucking
but
thought that.
Jack Bauer, or what's his name? What's his name?
Jack Burton.
Russell.
Jack
Jack
Burton.
Burton. Jack Bauer. Why am I thinking Jack Bauer? Jack Burton in a Ghostbusters movie would be kind of fun. I don't know why.
Damn it, Slimer! No.
I wouldn't mind seeing something kind of like with a different, maybe a little bit more of an Eastern flair. When you mentioned Big Trouble in Little China, something like centered around like Chinatown, some sort of like ghost of like some like old emperor or something like
Yeah.
that. Could be a cool
kinda
way to
cool.
go about it. Yeah,
Actually, you know what? Yeah, like a
Samurai warrior or something
that
like
would
that.
be actually
yeah,
be
something.
fun.
Yeah,
There's
could be
something to
cool.
that.
Yeah, or like a giant dragon or something. I don't know. There's a lot of
that'd be
different,
cool.
not to be
Yeah,
Because
like
it kind of
super.
fits with the New York City, the boroughs
Yeah.
and the that sort
For
of
sure,
thing.
for sure.
Or honestly, or truthfully, if you did like a Native American story with with Manhattan and the early what was it? Supposedly like it was given away for like a marble or something, like marbles or something like that, or
I don't
I
know.
don't know, there'd be something to that, but
I never heard that story, but much like Toodles and Hook, you may have lost your marbles, so we never know.
whatever.
No, I'm just teasing. I'm sorry.
Although here's my question: is Casper canon?
Oh fuck, that's a good question actually.
He's a friendly
cameo-
neighborhood ghost. So
There's
Good
no
call.
reason to think that it's not. Put you that way.
But honestly, going with your story, I kind of also like the idea of Ray, at least one of them, kind of going off on their own and being like their own Ghostbuster. Like they start Ghost Breakers. Like, aren't you the Ghostbusters? No, that's the other guys. I'm a Ghost.
Oh, that's
Breaker.
That's Bill Murray's.
Yeah, like that could make that canon actually.
That
yeah,
actually
with
could be
it,
pretty funny.
and he's such a failure. He gets a group of guys, and their klutzes are the worst.
Oh
work you see.
yeah,
and
he
they
could-
get a case that's like a real actual ghost and everything else like that. And these guys are they can't help him out, can't hack it. He has to go back to Dan Aykroyd. He has to go back to like Egon and Ray and all that stuff. And
Okay.
hey, you guys got to help me out with this. But
All right.
I opened
So
up
it's
big can of
nine-
worms.
Venkman, hold on. Venkman could big earn McCracken someone, like doing some rogue, like, unsanctioned, like not pro gear ghost busting, and someone gets fucked up and hurt or something. They
Yeah.
become the
He
ghost,
has
they
the
become the
first-
villain. Boom.
He has the first gen like tools and equipment that like no longer works as well.
Yeah.
And Egon's made like newer proton packs and all that stuff, whatever case may be.
I also like the idea of if you did that and he had a rogue team, if it was like 91, 92, whenever they made it. Obviously, we go to SNL cast members. The goof offs would be John Lovitz, Kevin Nealon, and Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman is so good. I thought you were gonna maybe say Sandler in there with the goof
No, they were
offs.
too. They weren't popular yet. You had to wait till like 93,
can see that.
94 to get those guys.
I can see
I
that.
guess that's maybe fair. Yeah.
You
That's
could have had
possibly fair.
David Spade since he was in Police Academy 4.
He would be actually a great Janine, like answering the phones, like, yes, Ghostbusters.
He actually
Okay,
would.
I'm gonna need you to calm down, sir. That whole thing. Like,
I'm hearing busting. I'm hearing clickety sounds in the background.
yeah. What I'm gonna need you to do is calm down and call us back, sir. Okay, bye bye.
That would actually work.
It would work so great. Yeah, he was awesome in those roles. I could use Michael McKean. I'm just throwing that out there when I get all coneheady.
Michael McKean would be a great mayor, or if Kurt
or Walter
Fuller
Pack
wasn't back.
type or something. Yeah, or Ghostbusters new lawyer.
Kurt Fuller is the best though.
Oh, Kurt Fuller's fantastic. I would do anything to bring him back. Bring them all back. There's something like large and family like about this Ghostbusters team and cast, and I think it's something they tried to capture in Frozen Empire, but it was too.
By bringing Peck back, I mean, like it was great. It was good.
That was way too little, too late. Oh my god.
It was. I didn't. I loved it, but I didn't like it. It was.
I just wanted more lines out of the guy who said the walls of the 53rd precinct were bleeding. Oh my God! Speak more, sir. Yes. Recite this whole script to me. Do an audio.
Oh man, I needed more Cheech in GB2. I think.
What about Ben?
Cheech and Chong?
Was Ben Stein why? Did he just want to be in a Ghostbusters movie that bad that he just took one throwaway line?
I think so. He's in a lot of movies like that, though. It's like someone's economic advisor or something.
Yeah.
That's
right.
what
he does the same thing in another Ivan Reitman movie. In Dave, he's just in that one scene. He walks into the house and that's it. Yeah.
Wait, where's Ben Stein into?
God, no one's talking
There's
about
this
Dave.
shell thing over the Manhattan Museum of Art. We can't make a dent. That's him.
That's Ben Stein.
That's Ben Stein.
I don't know that.
Oh man, I love Ben. 80s and 80s
Almost
and 90s
as
Ben
criminally
Stein.
underused
Win
as
Ben
Ben
Stein's money. Oh, what a time! What a time! But speaking of time, I think we're a little bit out of time. We're a little bit past time. So I think it is. I don't know. I think we've delivered a couple great potential Ghostbusters sequels. Some great ones came out of the live chat too. So applause for everyone all around on 200 of these. God damn, that's
200
crazy.
people.
Hoo-ah. Well.
200.
That being said,
you guys have spent 200 hours watching these goofballs.
I think I'm the only one who spent that much time on this. But before I say my closing spiel, is there anything you guys have got going on in the works? You want to let the people know about articles, books, anything coming out? Concerts? I see a lot of shaking heads and scratching mustaches, so I guess that means it's time for me to say that you Fandom fans might want to tune in next Wednesday at 9 p.m. when we attempt to down our first cinematic 6-pack of sequels to celebrate our first 200 sequels of glory. As always, if you enjoyed this video, the best way to help is to smash that like button and leave a comment telling us what movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover on a future episode of VCR Redux. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow Fandom, Spotlite, and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.
This chick is toast!
I love this town!